You can always tell when someone is paying attention, but the deeper question is why asterisk. See, attraction isn't about the loud, obvious signals we're trained to look for. It's often hidden in the quiet precision of someone's attention. When a man is genuinely drawn to you, his attention changes its texture. It's not just casual interest, it's intentional focus. He listens differently. He remembers small details that most people forget. He tracks not just what you say, but what you mean. That's not coincidence. That's care disguised as curiosity. Most men are taught not to show too much, to stay composed, detached, effortless. But the truth is, when feelings start to form, control starts to slip. You can hear it in the way his tone softens when he says your name. You can see it in how his energy shifts when you walk into a room. He might not even realize it himself, but attention is involuntary when emotion is real. The man who's indifferent can fake charm. The man who's intrigued can fake control. But the man who's feeling something can't fake stillness, because his attention betrays him, and that's the paradox. When a man likes you, he doesn't need to say it first. His presence says it for him. He becomes alert in your company, not anxious, but present in a way that's rare in a distracted world. He listens with intention. His laughter becomes more genuine. Even the silences between you hold meaning because he's no longer trying to fill the space. He's trying to experience it. Here's the psychological truth. We give our attention to what matters. Attention is the purest form of respect. You can measure someone's depth of feeling by what they choose to notice. When he asks about something you mentioned days ago, when he brings up your goals or your stresses, when he adjusts to your comfort without you asking. Those are not small gestures. They are evidence of emotional investment. People can pretend attraction, but they cannot manufacture consistent attention. But it's also important to recognize the difference between attention that flatters and attention that connects . Flattery is about the moment. Connection is about meaning. A man who truly feels something doesn't just want to impress you. He wants to understand you. His interest goes beyond your appearance. It expands into your thoughts, your moods, your rhythms. And that's where the real intimacy begins, in the invisible moments where someone's focus aligns with your reality. Philosophically, this is what attraction really is. It's the recognition of self in another. He's drawn not to perfection, but to something familiar, something that mirrors his hidden truth. That's why you can't chase real connection. It's something people recognize not something they're convinced of. When his attention deepens, it's because something about you speaks to the part of him that's ready to grow. That's why authentic attraction feels both exciting and unsettling. It's a reflection meeting reflection. So, pay attention to his attention. Don't get distracted by grand gestures or clever words. Listen to the silence between his actions. Watch how consistent his curiosity is. Does he see you when there's nothing to gain? Does he listen when there's no script to follow? Because real attraction is quiet, but it's constant. And here's the final truth. People reveal their feelings not through what they declare but through what they choose to notice repeatedly. When a man's attention keeps finding you, even when he's trying not to, that's not habit, it's heart. So, the next time you wonder if he's into you, stop waiting for the words. The answer is already in the way he looks at you when he thinks you're not watching. One of the most revealing signs of a man's hidden attraction isn't in what he says, it's in how he acts when he's trying not to care. There's this quiet conflict that happens inside him. On one hand, he's trying to maintain control, to stay composed, to not give away too much. On the other, his emotions are already exposing him in the smallest, most involuntary ways. His body language becomes a battleground between restraint and desire. You can see it in the micro-expressions, the way his eyes flicker to you when you're speaking to someone else, the way he unconsciously angles his body toward you even when he's not part of the conversation, or how his posture shifts when you enter the room. These aren't decisions, they're instincts. His attraction shows up long before his words catch up to it. Psychologically, this happens because attraction isn't just emotional, it's neurological. The human brain responds to someone we're drawn to with heightened focus and awareness. Our mirror neurons activate, which means we begin to subconsciously mimic their gestures, tone, even their energy. So when you notice that a man subtly mirrors your body language, laughs in sync with your timing, or adjusts his rhythm to match yours, that's not manipulation, it's chemistry acting on autopilot. What's fascinating is that men who try the hardest to hide their attraction often reveal it the most clearly. When someone genuinely affects you, it disrupts your rhythm. He might appear calm, but his attention slips toward you more often than he wants it to. He'll find excuses to be near you, to contribute to your space without making it obvious, offering help with something small, starting conversations that seem casual but always loop back to you. It's not strategy, it's gravity. But here's the deeper truth: when a man feels something real, he becomes vulnerable, and that scares him, especially if he's not used to emotional exposure. Attraction isn't just about admiration, it's about fear too. Fear of rejection, fear of losing control, fear of being seen too clearly. So sometimes he'll act distant, he'll overcorrect, try to appear indifferent. Yet even in that distance, his awareness of you doesn't fade, it intensifies. He's not ignoring you, he's managing his reaction to you. Philosophically speaking, this is the paradox of human attraction. The more we try to conceal genuine emotion, the more visible it becomes, because emotion by nature seeks expression. You can't suppress connection without showing effort, and effort always reveals itself. That's why silence, hesitation, or nervous restraint can sometimes be louder than words. They expose the depth of what someone is trying to contain. So the next time you wonder whether he feels something, look for the contradictions, the moments when his behavior doesn't match his words, the times when he seems composed, yet his focus lingers. Attraction is rarely neat. It's messy, unpredictable, and often unspoken. But that's also what makes it real, because the truth of how someone feels isn't in the lines they deliver. It's in the pauses they can't control. And if there's one thing you should take from this, it's this: when someone is drawn to you, their energy will always betray their intention. No amount of composure can mask genuine connection. It leaks through the cracks, through glances, through the quiet tension of wanting to stay calm but being unable to. So stop looking for confessions, start noticing contradictions, because those unguarded moments always tell the truth. When a man is truly attracted to you, there's a subtle shift in the way he pays attention to you, and it's not the kind of attention that's loud or obvious. It's focused, almost protective, yet quietly respectful. He begins to notice things that others overlook: the small gestures, the way you phrase your thoughts, the slight changes in your tone when you're tired or upset. This isn't just curiosity, it's emotional attunement. And it's one of the most profound signs that he feels something real, even if he's trying not to show it. You see, most people think attraction is all about chemistry, the spark, the flirting, the tension. But genuine attraction goes deeper than that. It's about emotional resonance. It's when someone's presence starts to affect the way you perceive yourself. And when a man is drawn to you on that level, He doesn't just see you, he feels you. He begins to internalize your emotions, not because he's trying to impress you, but because he's subconsciously invested in your state of being. Psychologically, this kind of focus reveals a level of attachment that words can't easily express. Men, by nature, are often more guarded with their emotions. They tend to process attraction through observation before they act. So when he's watching you not in a possessive or evaluative way, but in a genuinely attentive way, that's his emotional system gathering information. It's his way of studying what affects him, what draws him in, what makes him care. And what's fascinating is how this often manifests in small, seemingly insignificant actions. He remembers details you casually mentioned weeks ago. He adjusts his tone when speaking to you, matching your emotional energy without realizing it. He notices when you're uncomfortable in a room and subtly shifts to make you feel safer. None of this is grand or performative. It's instinctual, because when someone's emotions are involved, their awareness becomes heightened, and that awareness always finds a way to express itself. Philosophically, this kind of attention says something deeper about connection. Real connection isn't about intensity, it's about consistency. It's not in how often someone compliments you, but in how present they are when they're with you. Presence is the purest form of affection because it demands focus, and focus is the currency of care. When someone gives you their undivided attention, especially in a world full of distractions, that's not casual. That's commitment even if it's silent. But here's the paradox. Men who feel this kind of pull often try to suppress it. They fear that their attention will give them away, that being too invested will make them vulnerable, so they'll act casual, detached, as if nothing has changed. Yet, ironically, it's that very attempt to control their emotions that makes their attraction even more noticeable. Because the more you care, the harder it becomes to act unaffected. So, if you're ever questioning how he feels, pay attention to how he pays attention. Does he remember the little things? Does he notice the subtle shifts in your energy? Does he make small efforts that he doesn't talk about? Those are not accidents, they're reflections of care he hasn't yet put into words. And here's the truth I want you to take with you. Love doesn't always announce itself through declarations, it reveals itself through presence. When a man's awareness begins to orbit around you, when he starts to see you not as an idea, but as someone whose well-being affects his own, that's when you've reached him. Even if he's trying to hide it, that kind of connection can't stay hidden for long. Because no matter how controlled someone tries to be, the heart always finds a way to make itself known. When a man is truly attracted to you but trying to hide it, one of the most revealing clues is in how his energy shifts around you. It's not always in what he says, in fact, it's often in what he doesn't. You can sense the tension in his pauses, the hesitation before he responds, or the subtle nervousness in his gestures. His entire demeanor begins to change because attraction, especially when it's genuine, isn't something you can fully control. It leaks through body language, tone, timing, the tiny human signals that our conscious mind can't quite suppress. What's fascinating about this is that men, in general, are conditioned to maintain composure. Society often tells them that emotional control equals strength. So when they start to feel something that stirs them, something that threatens to expose vulnerability, they instinctively try to tighten their guard. They overcompensate. They'll act a little colder, keep conversations shorter, or try to appear uninterested. But the irony is that very effort to appear unaffected becomes the giveaway. You can almost feel that internal tug-of-war, the desire to stay composed versus the instinct to connect. Psychologically, this behavior stems from the discomfort of emotional exposure. When someone likes you deeply, they're not just risking rejection, they're risking being seen. And being seen, truly seen, can be terrifying because it strips away the roles we play and the masks we wear. A man might hide his attraction not because he doesn't feel it strongly, but because he feels it too strongly. He's trying to manage the unpredictability that comes with genuine emotion. Philosophically speaking, this is where the dance of connection becomes so complex. Attraction that is denied or resisted has a particular energy to it, a tension that sits between desire and fear. It's the space where the heart reaches forward, but the mind pulls back. You might notice that when you're close, he seems both drawn in and slightly restless. He looks at you longer than he should, then looks away quickly. He laughs easily with others, but becomes quieter with you. These small contradictions aren't confusion, they're control. He's managing what he feels because he's not ready to surrender to it. But here's something important to understand. When you sense that energy, don't rush to decode or confront it. Let it breathe. People reveal themselves more clearly when they feel safe, not when they feel observed. If you want to see someone's truth, create space for their guard to lower naturally. Because the truth about attraction is this: it's not meant to be forced, it's meant to unfold. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do when someone is fighting their feelings is to stay grounded in your own. Don't mirror their restraint with insecurity. Don't chase their confusion with clarity. Just stay centered, self-assured, and aware. Because when you remain calm in the middle of emotional tension, it signals confidence, and confidence has a way of drawing the truth out of people. The truth is, the more someone tries to hide real attraction, the more it shapes their behavior. It becomes the undercurrent of every word, every silence, every glance, and in the end, it always finds a way to surface. Because no matter how well someone masks their emotions, energy doesn't lie. So pay attention to that energy, not the excuses, not the surface-level indifference, but the small shifts, the quiet tension, the unspoken pull. Because in those moments, you're not just seeing his attraction. You're witnessing the human struggle between fear and desire. And when you understand that, you stop chasing validation and start recognizing truth. And that's the most powerful shift you can make, realizing that someone's hidden feelings aren't yours to extract. They're his to reveal when he's ready. But either way, the truth always reveals itself in time. It always does. Another undeniable sign that a man is attracted to you, even when he's trying hard to conceal it, is how invested he becomes in subtle ways. It's not always through grand gestures or overt declarations. Often, it's in the quiet, consistent actions that seem almost insignificant on the surface, but speak volumes about his emotional investment. You'll notice he remembers details you mentioned weeks ago, things most people would forget: the way you take your coffee, the name of your childhood pet, that book you said you wanted to read. These are not just acts of good memory, they're reflections of focus. Because when someone truly likes you, their mind naturally records you. You occupy space in their attention, whether they want you to or not. What's fascinating about this is how attraction reorders a person's priorities without their permission. A man who is trying to play it cool will still find himself checking his phone more often, just to see if you've texted. He might frame it as coincidence, or convince himself he's just being polite when he asks about your day, but underneath that logic is care. That's what emotional interest does. It slips through logic, it leaks into habit. Even when he tries to suppress it, it finds expression through effort and curiosity. The psychology behind this lies in what we call *micro, Investments asterisk the small, recurring ways we show we care without openly admitting it. These are the breadcrumbs of genuine attraction. They're not driven by strategy or manipulation. They emerge naturally because connection demands expression. When someone's drawn to you, silence becomes uncomfortable, distance feels unnatural, and indifference becomes almost impossible to maintain. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Men who are genuinely attracted but afraid of exposure often express affection indirectly. They may offer help, give advice, or show up in moments where it's least expected. It's as if they're looking for permission to care to give a part of themselves without saying the words that might make it too real. It's a subtle form of emotional self-protection. By helping, they can stay close without admitting their attachment. By showing concern, they get to express love under the guise of friendship or decency. But here's the key: you can't mistake hidden effort for half-hearted interest. There's a difference between a man who's holding back feelings out of fear and one who's holding back because he's indifferent. The distinction lies in consistency. Fear still shows up. Indifference disappears. Fear engages cautiously. Indifference detaches completely. So pay attention not to what he says, but what he sustains. This is where emotional intelligence becomes your greatest strength. Because when you can discern the difference between mixed signals and masked sincerity, you no longer chase confusion. You become calm in it. You understand that if a man's attraction is real, his effort, no matter how disguised, will always leak through in the patterns of his attention. And philosophically, this reflects something deeper about human nature. We're all drawn to what mirrors our emotional truth. When someone resonates with who you are, they're magnetized by your presence, even if they don't fully understand why. That's the beauty and the torment of attraction. It's both conscious and unconscious. So don't rush to decode every gesture or force clarity before it's ready. Let his actions over time tell you everything you need to know. Because truth in relationships is rarely shouted, it's revealed through consistency. And that's what you should remember. When someone truly values you, even their silence has effort in it. Because attraction, no matter how hidden, always leaves a trail. It's up to you to stop chasing the words and start reading the energy. That's where the real truth always lies. There's one more sign that reveals a man's hidden attraction, and it's the hardest to fake his emotional vulnerability when he's around you. You'll notice it in the small cracks in his composure, those fleeting moments when his guard slips and his real feelings surface. Maybe it's the way his tone softens when you speak, or how he shares something about his past that he usually keeps to himself. It's not about dramatic confessions or emotional oversharing, it's about authenticity sneaking through restraint. When a man feels safe with you, his walls lower, even if only for seconds at a time. That's attraction working on a deeper psychological level. Because attraction isn't just about wanting someone, it's about feeling seen by them. And when a man feels seen, something powerful happens. He doesn't just respond to your looks or your charm. He responds to the emotional space you create. In that space, he feels he can breathe differently, like he can stop performing, stop pretending, and just be. For many men, that kind of comfort is rare. So when he finds it, it pulls him closer, even if he's trying to resist it. This emotional vulnerability might look subtle from the outside. He might not say, "You make me feel safe." Instead, you'll see it in the way he lingers in conversation a little longer, the way he becomes more present around you. You'll sense it in his pauses, not the awkward kind, but the thoughtful ones. Those are the moments he's silently realizing that what he feels for you goes beyond surface-level attraction. He might not be ready to admit it, but his body language already has. His eyes soften, his tone shifts, his energy settles. It's no longer about impressing you, it's about connecting with you. Psychologically, this happens because emotional attraction and safety are intertwined. When someone makes us feel emotionally understood, our brain associates them with comfort, not chaos. And comfort, when mixed with chemistry, creates something far more addictive than simple attraction. It creates attachment. That's why even men who try to hide their feelings often end up drawn back into your orbit. They might convince themselves they're just being friendly or curious, but deep down, they're craving the emotional ease your presence brings. Now, this doesn't mean you should carry the responsibility of making a man feel comfortable enough to open up. That's not your job. Your job is to notice to stay aware, grounded, and receptive without losing yourself in the process. Because when you know how to read emotional truth beneath surface tension, you stop reacting to mixed signals. You start recognizing patterns. You understand that a man's vulnerability around you isn't weakness, it's an unspoken confession. And the beauty of it all is that genuine connection doesn't need to be forced or decoded through endless analysis. It reveals itself in presence, in trust, in the quiet moments that words can't fully capture. So if you notice a man who seems both composed and quietly undone in your presence, who tries to hide his emotions but keeps revealing them through sincerity, understand that you're witnessing the truth peek through fear. Attraction isn't always loud. Sometimes it whispers through nervous laughter, long silences, or the simplest act of honesty. And that's what makes it real, because the truest feelings don't demand attention. They seek understanding. So, if you ever wonder whether someone's truly drawn to you, look for the cracks in their armor, not their performances, not their charm, but their humanity. That's where the truth lies. And when you can see it, you stop chasing love and start recognizing it. Because love, in its purest form, doesn't need to hide, it just needs to feel safe enough to show up.